friends. Happy Monday. Just checking in live as I do every Monday with you. Today, I thought I would share maybe like a teacher's perspective, right? So I am offering the Pain-Free Performer course this summer. And some people are like, well, I'm a teacher. I do mostly teaching. I don't do a lot of performing. And so why would I take this? Why would I do this? And so we're going to talk through a scenario where this course this summer will give you some great tools and some great resources to not only help yourself, but also help your students. So I want you to think about your teaching setup, whether you're a band or orchestra teacher, you're a private lesson instructor, you're a group class coach, whatever your norm is, okay? And let's imagine we have a student named Joe. And Joe is really talented. Joe, lots of potential, and he is really serious about being a musician in his career. So Joe wants to go to college for music, and as his teacher, you're helping him do that. And Joe feels a lot of discomfort and soreness maybe when he's playing. So maybe Joe starts practicing a lot. When you have the conversation about going to college and what that means as a music student, Joe starts practicing a lot more. And he starts developing some pain and discomfort in his body. Maybe his shoulders get really tight. Maybe his forearms get really tight. Maybe his fingers, he actually has finger or hand pain. Maybe his neck is really uncomfortable. If in your realm of work, Joe is a wind player, maybe he gets a lot of discomfort in his jaw and his face, okay? So whoever Joe is in your mind, he's developing a lot of pain. And he tells you about it. He's like, hey, I keep practicing, I keep preparing for this college music thing, and it hurts, and I don't know what to do. I practice my 4 or 5 hours a day, and I'm in a lot of pain. I don't know what to do about it. And from your perspective, you offer him the solutions that you know about. So maybe from your perspective, you know that stretching is really good. So you tell him to stretch, tell him to ice it, tell him to rest, get a massage, go to a chiropractor, go to your doctor, PT, something like that. And Joe keeps coming back and saying, it still hurts. It's still uncomfortable. My arm still hurts, my neck, whatever it is. And you kind of feel like, oh, I don't really know what to tell him, but I'm his teacher, and so we have to focus on his instrument. So we keep going with these lessons. Joe keeps working with you. He's still got this pain. He's found some ways to make it a little better. Maybe he has a regular exercising routine now. Maybe he's started doing yoga. Maybe he gets regular massages or acupuncture or dry needling. Hi, Yari. But you never really figure out the problem, right? You're just kind of mitigating the symptoms. And then Joe gets into college, and he goes and he studies with a new teacher, and the stakes are higher. In college, it's more serious. It's more intense. He's playing more in ensembles. Maybe he's got a couple gigs now. Maybe he's practicing more hours every day, and the pain is there, and it gets worse. And he tells his college professor, and his college professor is, or his conservatory professor, maybe that person is, established in their career, and they never had those problems. They never had pain. And so they just say, well, take a break, but you have to keep practicing. Or it's all in your mind. I heard this one actually in college. It's all in your mind. just practice through it. It'll go away. You're just making it up. And it gets to the point where Joe can't play anymore. Joe has to take several months off from playing to rest. That's the doctor's orders, rest and recovery. And in that time, he's so excited to get back, but he has a lot of anxiety, right? Because now he's taking time away from his instrument, he's taking time away from playing, which is what he wants to do, which is why he went to college, and there's a lot of stress involved. And as his maybe prep teacher, you keep in touch with him, and he's telling you this, and he's letting you know, like, I'm worried about this, I'm stressed, these are the things going on, and you have no more solutions. You told him everything you knew to do. And you say, ask your college teacher, and his college teacher says, do what your doctor said. Take some time off, and then as soon as you're back in my studio, we have a lot to prepare for. So Joe comes back to playing after his recovery time, and he ends up in the same place. His arms hurt, or his neck hurts, or his jaw, whatever it is, it comes back. So now he's in a cycle of huge amounts of rest lead to feeling better, but as soon as I start playing my instrument again, it hurts. And now he has two teachers, one of which had some good advice that didn't quite go all the way, but it helped a little bit, and one of which had kind of zero advice. And then he sought medical help, but his doctor isn't a player, right? So he's kind of in a quandary, and maybe he's just like, I guess I can't play my instrument. I guess I'm not supposed to do this because it hurts too much. And then is it game over? As his teacher and as his then friend after you're his teacher, did you serve him to the best of your abilities? Did you provide all of the resources you possibly could? Do you feel like Joe, who had so much promise and so much potential, and then he has to quit because he hurts so much? Do you feel like that was like fair? I don't feel like it was fair. I don't feel like it's fair. And to be honest, it's not. And here's what I really think. So I put together the Pain-Free Performer program this summer because it's not just performers who need answers and solutions for pain and discomfort. It's also teachers, right? Teachers are training the next generation of musician. And if we can't help them, if we're just giving them, well, this worked for me, or I didn't have that, so I don't know how to help you, we're not really helping them create the life and music that they want, right? If I have a student who wants a career in some genre of music that I don't know how to play, that's fine. I want them to do that. But I want them to not be held back by the physicality of playing the instrument. It's my responsibility as a teacher to ensure that I can give them the tools to pursue music how they want to pursue it. And if my musical training and the way I'm training my students doesn't involve any information about how the body works, or how muscles work, or what's connected to what, or what needs to work a little harder, or what needs to work a little less, I'm kind of lucky if my student doesn't run into road bumps along the way, right? If I haven't had to address those issues with that student and they keep finding success, in some ways I'm very lucky as a teacher. In many ways, I want to have the resources as a teacher to help my student play music to their best ability. My proportions of my body, my physical setup, my structural structure is not the same as many of my students. I teach students who are much smaller than me. I teach students who are much larger than me. I teach students who are older than me, and I teach students who are way younger than me. There is no way, it's not possible for me to say, it is like this for me, therefore it will be like this for you. And the point of the Pain-Free Performer program is that you have the skills, the knowledge, and the tools to help yourself, but also to help your students. So we're going to explore a lot of anatomy for musicians, muscles, joints, posture, how to activate certain things, what should work, where that muscle is actually connected to, what maybe could work a little harder. So in answer to issues that might come up along the way. So let's say Joe's got pain in his face when he plays. Well, maybe if we start to understand how the whole structure comes together below the face, we can ease up some of the tension that's holding on right at the jaw. Or maybe if Joe's a violin player and he's feeling a lot of tension in his forearms, maybe we can really address what's happening in the forearms, or what should maybe happen a little bit somewhere else to help free up some of that tension and relieve some of the discomfort. Okay? So if you are a teacher hearing me blab on and on and on and on about the Pain-Free Performer and this summer program, and you're like, well, I don't really perform very much. I have a really big teaching studio and I spend most of my time teaching. This course is for you too, right? We teach so much through our own experience that we're going to optimize and enhance your experience. We're going to make your sensation of playing your instrument so much clearer, so that you can articulate to your students what exactly you mean by bend your finger, raise your instrument to your mouth, stand tall, good posture. We're going to really break these down so we understand what's part of them. Okay? So if you have any questions, send me a DM. You can respond to this video. There is a sign up somewhere, I never know where to point on this stuff, to join an email list where I send out sneak peeks and treats associated with lots of things, but specifically with this course. I've already announced who one of our special guests is, and I'll post that on social media soon, but if you want to know things right away and be the first one to hear about stuff, that's definitely the place and the way to do it. I'll be here every Monday to talk through this stuff, and if you need a little bit more clarification or you want some of this experience just one-on-one to address what you're constantly confronting or what your students are constantly addressing, which I've had a lot of questions about, just send me a message and we'll set something up. I love talking about this on Zoom. You can look at some of the content I've already posted recently. It has some little clips and highlights of some of this. And recently about the shoulder. They all connect to your body. I also posted one about pronation and supination and the role of your bicep. These are things that never get talked about in music education, and I think that needs to stop. And that's my goal this summer. So hopefully I'll see you there. Start